Hello, welcome to today's video where I'll take a look at Jupiter because it finally listed on Kucoin. So I just want to give you my thoughts on what's going on right now and where I personally see this token, right? Because it's overvalued right now, right? I'm going to start it with that. End of the story. The current price is way too high with the 10 billion total supply. Okay, this is my personal opinion on this. It's if we look on this post here on X from Jupiter Exchange, this was posted like a number of hours ago before they got listed on Kucoin, and the initial circulating supply is 1.35 billion, and the pool starting price was supposed to be 40 cents. Okay, but what actually happened? Well, it traded at over $2 there for a moment, right? Even $2.10, as you can see. This is on the 1 minute chart, by the way. So this is like 1 minute after trading. So you were able to buy or sell here. And again, here, like, as you can see, like a lot of people were selling exactly after this, right? Like 4 minutes in and people were like dumping like crazy, right? But it just shows you that you had like this 3 minute window here to actually exit at a nice profit. $400, that is to be exact, right? Because everybody who got airdropped seems to have gotten airdropped 200 jupe. Like I know some people in my community got airdropped jupe as well, and they got exactly 200 because they interacted with the DEX last year. You had to have interacted around November, I believe. I don't know the exact date, but it had to be sometime in November. Although one guy told me that he interacted in December. Maybe he doesn't remember exactly because apparently you don't qualify if you interacted in December, so it had to be November. Yeah, looking at the price right now, I mean, it had a major dump here, and to be fair, it's expected. It's in a downtrend right now. We don't have the 100-day moving average yet because it couldn't have formed it, right? It is quite new, it just listed. But we do have the 50-day moving average here going down nicely as expected. Again, this is the 1 minute chart, and then a 21-day moving average, and it's respecting this line really well here. It wants to dump further, which is fine. You know, I mean, many more people are going to be claiming this airdrop. So if I was able to leverage trade this, unfortunately I can't because I looked on Kucoin and perpetuals is not open. But if I could have leverage traded this, I would have just been short all the way because, I mean, with this huge price, like imagine the profit you could make. And I think that's why they don't open perpetuals on newly listed tokens, because they know that a dump usually happens and then a lot of people would just short, and that's going to hurt investors, right? So that's why they prevent that. But even if they would have allowed it now, I would still be short because there are still a lot of people left to claim. I haven't personally checked exactly on chain where, but apparently you can check it here on solana.fm. If you look on the blockchain explorer, the team at Solana FM were actually kind enough to add a tag to the wallet and to mark them as part of the airdrop program. So there's actually a wallet which shows you exactly the total supply of jupe, and each time a person claims, it then shows you here on chain, right? It marks it that it has been claimed. As you can see here, if we scroll down a few seconds ago, and these are all the transaction fees. So they're generating a lot of transaction fees in Solana here, which is bullish for Solana, of course. Lots of activity with these airdrops, you know, and it just shows once again that airdrops for a specific chain, if the transaction fees are paid in that specific chain's token, then it can bring a lot of value. It's a shame we don't see this for Polkadot, unfortunately. I think transaction fees can be beneficial if this was to happen and we were to see a lot of these airdrop programs and a lot of claiming, you know, hundreds of thousands of transactions. Imagine the transaction fees, right? It would generate a lot of activity on chain. And so, yeah, this is how you can do it here. I took a sample account there just to look at it, and from the ones that were claiming, and as you can see, this is how it looks here. It is different than other blockchain explorers, but ultimately it does show you that it was a token transfer of 200 Jupiter to this specific address. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much how it is. And the price 68 cents, I still think it's too high, given that it does have a 10 billion total supply, you know. So you got to look at it from the perspective of Manta, for example, which is a privacy blockchain. It's got a 1 billion total supply, and the price is currently around $3. So I would expect this one to be around 30 cents just to match up to the same market cap if everything was to be released, like the fully diluted market cap compared to Manta. And again, you can't really compare this to Manta. It's the best DEX on Solana, but you still can't compare it to Manta, right? Because Manta is a privacy protocol, right? They're offering something more than that. Plus, you get airdrops if you stake Manta, whereas with Jupe, I don't think you get any airdrops. At least they haven't announced it yet, because the purpose of this specific token is that it's a governance token. Okay, so Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, transaction fees are still paid in Solana. And yeah, I am expecting this to probably go down further, to be fair. You know, like I wouldn't mind buying a bag just because the tokenomics are quite good with this, in the sense that there are no more VCs. It's just the team tokens, and the team isn't going to get any unlock yet. So, you know, it's okay, but just not at this price, right? I would be eyeing maybe 10 to 20 cents. You know, I think that would be more favorable price. And anyway, I will wait and see what happens, because I want to wait for some sort of stability. I want to wait for people to claim the airdrop. As you can see, they're constantly claiming every few seconds their claims. And a lot of these people are going to end up selling, because why not, right? They're making 130 bucks right now if they decide to sell. So, you know, a lot of people are going to sell for 130 bucks. Like I said, if you were one of the fast ones and you were available to be able to claim and to sell in the first few minutes, then you would have gotten $400, which is pretty good, right? I actually got 600 and something dollars for TIA when I first claimed it, because I did qualify for staking Atom. And of course, I regret selling it so early. My airdrop would have been worth over 4.5K had I held it for another month or so, right? So it just shows you once again, or maybe I should have just bought more. Like if I would have bought a lot of TIA back then, I think I would have done really well. I'm sure you would have too. But many people thought it's gonna dump because it's gonna be like Juno. You know, many people compared it to Juno. And so they were proven wrong, you know, and unfortunately, I have missed out. Maybe you missed out too, I don't know, or maybe you are still holding. But I mean, we can't really compare this to any of that, right? I mean, the tokenomics are good, but it is a governance token at the end of the day. So it's somewhat comparable to Jito if you want to compare it to something, except it does have the backing of a very, very good exchange here, okay, unlike Jito. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say here. I just wanted to drop this short video and just give you my thoughts on this. Just be really careful with Jupe. I'm not saying it can't go higher. The tokenomics are bullish, but remember, people are claiming every second and some people will be selling. We have seen this happen. It can happen. Be aware, be careful, stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.